Hello and welcome to IGPP Expert Talks. I'm Heena Goswami, Editorial Consultant with IGPP, Institute for Governance, Policies and Politics. Today, to discuss the Russia-Ukraine conflict, we are joined by a very special guest, Ms. Darya Aslamova. Ms. Darya is Special Correspondent with Russian news agency Pravda. Welcome, Darya. Welcome to the show. Thank you for sparing time for us. We are doing this special episode to talk about the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And we were just talking about it a little while back, and you say that it's not a war for you, it's a special operation for Russia. Why?
I will explain you. You cannot make war against your own people. You cannot make war against your family. You cannot make war against your own blood. Because Russian and Ukrainians, it's the same blood, the same nation. We lived in all Russian people, all our beginning of nation. It started in Kiev many centuries ago. The Russian nation was started in Kiev. That's why for us it's Kiev. We call Kiev of mother of Russian cities. We have even phrase mother of Russian cities. You must understand what it's for us, Ukraine, which was always part of Russian Empire after the Soviet Empire, and in period after crashing Soviet Union, we lost Ukraine. In every family, we have somebody like relatives from Ukraine. For example, my daughter was born in Ukraine. My first husband has Ukrainian citizenship. Grandmother of my daughter from Ukraine, but they are Russian-speaking Ukrainians. I will tell you, it was investigation in after creation of Soviet Union, after falling apart of Soviet Union. It was investigation of Gallup institution. How many people in Ukraine speak on Russian language? 80%. 80% was speaking Russian language. That means it was completely Russian-speaking territory except to Western Ukraine, whereas people were speaking on Ukrainian and Polish partly because they was part of Poland, some period of their history. It's permanently was mixture of blood. That means in every family in Russia, we have relatives from other sides. You cannot make war with your relatives. It's partly what Putin told. It's partly civil war. You know, it's war between. It can be war between the same nations. It's civil war. We can call it like this. But we call it special operation because we don't use methods what, for example, America used in Iraq. I was in Iraq war. I saw what America was doing with Iraq. We don't bomb like America was bombing Afghanistan. Because for America, it's enemies. For us Ukrainians, not enemies. It's our blood, it's our family.
We talked about it, and we talked about this with other Russian experts, that for Russia, the conflict did not begin in 2022, but it went way back, it started way back in 2014. Please provide a context to that for our audience.
Okay, I was in 2014, I was in Maidan when it started so-called revolution. Technologically, informatively, was organized by USA. It's manufactured by USA, but special agency USAID. Professionally good organized coup d'etat. Because Yanukovych, who was president of Ukraine in 2014, he was democratically elected official president, recognized by all the world. When it started exploding, so Maidan, how to call this revolution, Maidan. After Maidan, Yanukovych agreed he will make new elections. He signed a special agreement with these revolutionaries. Let's call them like they called themselves. Guarantee of this agreement was Germany, France, and Poland. This agreement exists only 24 hours because immediately after this, people from Maidan tried to kill President Yanukovych and he had to escape. It means it was really classical coup d'etat. What's happened after? On east of Ukraine, mostly people speak on Russian language. They have Orthodox religion. It's Russian people. It was always like this. And it's a very big industrial region. Mostly people was not so interested in politics. They was working. They are really hard workers people. But when it started questions that it's happened, coup d'etat, Yanukovych escaped, legal president of country, had to escape because they tried to kill him, it was threat for his life. They thought we don't want. It's not revolution, so-called. It's some kind of rebellion or something, and we don't want to be part of this. We want our president will come back. We have right on this. He was voting for him. It's not democracy, which you call democracy. And but it didn't happen. And after this, it started big speaking of Ukrainian politicians in Kiev, especially in Western Ukraine. Russian language must be forbidden. Russian language must be forbidden. People on East all must go out from country, all must stay and become Ukrainians. What is impossible, it's millions of people. Completely impossible, it's their native ground. Why they must go out? I came exactly in 2014 in Donbass and Lugansk. They thought we will make referendum in this case, democratical referendum, and we will decide our destiny by ourselves. Because if nobody wants to listen us, we want to give our voices on referendum. I was in this referendum, it was 11th of May 2014, and immediately Kiev told they're terrorists, they're separatists, it's our enemies, they must go out, they must pack their luggage and go to Russia. That's all. We don't need citizens like this. But people made referendum. What was scary for Russian people in east of Ukraine in this period? First, it happened 2nd of May, Odessa. It was house of trade unions, where it was demonstrations of Russian-speaking people, and they was burnt. It came demonstration, Maidan demonstration. It was 2 demonstrations against each other, and 100 people was burned alive in house of trade unions, 2nd of May in Odessa. It was shock for everybody. It started blood. It started real blood. After this, in Mariupol, in the day of victory of Second World War, when Russian people was given to monument to give flowers, it came Nazis organization, Pravый sector, right sector, it's Nazi. They came to police in Mariupol and told, you must banish all these people with flowers from monument of eternal fire. Sorry. They refused, and right sector Nazi people came on tanks. I was witness of this. I was in this day in city, 9th of May, and they just shoot 23rd policemen. Again, it started blood. And after referendum, I was witness of this referendum too. I was observing this referendum. I was watching how families came and told, we want to be independent. After this referendum, Kiev gave order, bomb Donetsk. To understand figures, what's happened in Donbass and Lugansk from 2014 till 2022, it was killed 15,000 people by Kiev. Because they told they're separatists, they make special operation, anti-terror operation against people on Donbass and Lugansk. It was 15,000 people was killed. It was many little cities, many bombing, was many crashes there. All industry stopped. But people told, no, we will not be anymore part of Ukraine. Because it's impossible after so big blood. That means tragedy started in 2014, not in 2022. What was one more tragedy of people of Donbass and Lugansk, which Kiev called separatists and terrorists? Problem was, Russia didn't want to take them. Because we was afraid of international reaction. Russia was afraid of international reaction. And Russians thought, okay, let's make agreement between this. We'll be middlemen on agreements between these separatist regions and between Kiev. Again, it started agreements. Guarantee countries was, again, Germany and France. It was signed 2 agreements. Agreements, Minsk Agreement 1, it was in Belarus agreement, and Minsk Agreement 2. Russia pushed this part to stay part of Ukraine. Only one thing what they was asking, these people from these so-called separatist regions, they told, we want to speak on Russian language, we want to have our church, our religions, we want to have education in our language, and we want to have some kind of autonomy, to have our rights, to be protected. because it's too many bloods. And this project, Russia was pushing very much. Russia didn't want to take this territory at all, because it was special agreement when Germany and France was guarantees of this agreement. But Ukraine signed both Minsk Agreement 1, Minsk Agreement 2, and didn't do anything. Oppositely, they go on bombing, they go on killing. Not even one chapter of this agreement was not making by Kiev, which they signed. They signed all these chapters of agreement, but they didn't do anything. That's why this tragedy is just growing. When we understood it's no any more chance, because people thought we made referendum. We want to be part of Russia. Why don't want to take us? We are your blood. And they was waiting 8 years, 8 long years. It was tragedy. That's why I explain you how it's happened and how for what we came now in 2022. Because it was no choice anymore. Kiev made decision to completely crash this region and start war, big war.
Do you think Ukraine has been acting on its own in like bombing the Russian-speaking regions, or do you think Western countries also had a role to play in this manufactured revolution, especially?
You know, there is famous politologist Brzezinski, American politologist, who told, without Ukraine, Russian Empire will never exist. That means aim of America was always, if you take Ukraine from Russia, we will crash empire. It was their obsessive ideas of Americans. That's why they started this project we call this colored revolutions. Project to make revolutions all over the world. It's sponsored by USAID. It's American agency for democracy, what they call democracy. Professional organized revolutions, what we saw on Tahrir Square in Egypt, what we saw in Revolution of Roses in Tbilisi in Georgia, what we watch Revolution of Tulips in Kyrgyzia. I mean, always there is a few features of these artificial revolutions. Like Maidan, it was artificial revolution. Like it's Orange Revolution in Kiev 2004, when it was again coup d'etat making. What is these professional revolutions? It's you must make coup d'etat, you must change legal power by special methods, by special technologies. This technologist was making first in Serbia, when it was coup d'etat against President Milosevic 2001. It was very successful. It's many details. For example, how to speak with policemen, how to present them flowers, how to sing songs, how to make festival on the streets, how to suck people inside of the story about democracy on the streets to tell, come to us, dance, we are for peace and democracy, and all these things. It's many steps. It's even there is a series 100 crucial points how to make revolution. It's technology. It's already technology. We saw this in many countries, and always it's finished not good. Always it's finished with blood and with changing of legitimate power on just adventurers, adventurers who come to power, and they are paid by America. It's professional method. If you don't know what to do, make democratic revolution. If you don't know how to change power in country, Americans make the democratic revolution. That's why I know how this word democracy very important in India, but for us it's have not good taste because we saw a lot of so-called democratic coup d'etats.
You have been a war correspondent for long. You have reported from various war zones. How is the conflict in Ukraine different from other wars or other conflicts that you have experienced?
It was clean aggression, strong country against weak country. Now Ukraine is just territory of big war between collective West and Russia. It's just place, it's just place for war battles, battle space. Point is not Ukraine. Point is big war NATO countries against Russia. We are fighting for our survival. Russia fighting now for survival, for existence. It's existential questions for us now. Or we will lose, or we will lose and we will die, or we will live. And we will have our place in this multipolar world. It will be our rules, how to make our life, how to make our country, not like Western countries want this. That's why for us, it's questions, or to die or to live. That's why, and for me, of course, it's war in which they try to kill us. Western countries try to kill us. They give weapons, they give a lot of money, and every weapon is against me, against my family. That means, yesterday I was in a restaurant here in India, and it was company of British guys who was sitting and drinking. And I was alone, and they're trying to speak. I thought, where are you from? I thought, I'm from Russia. I thought, I'm from Russia. I thought, where are you from? I thought, we are from Great Britain. So that means you're my enemy. You're from country which is my enemy. But why you speak like this? We just wanted, I don't know, to sit and drink with you. But you cannot drink with me. You're my enemy. You give weapon who is killing my soldiers, my people, my blood. I cannot speak with you. I cannot drink with you. I cannot sit with you. It's because it's just for us it's too much serious, and that's why it's really a question of life.
Thank you so much for telling us about your experiences and shedding new light on the conflict and giving us a different perspective of the war. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.